eine Minorität bleiben, weil wir die wertvollsten Elemente des Kampfes und des Opfers sind, in der Nation mobilisierten.
We shall fight on the beaches, we shall fight on the landing grounds, we shall fight in the fields and in the streets, we shall fight in the hills, we shall never surrender. Never in the field of human conflict was so much owed by so many to so few.
I am Savik, and this is WoT University Bootcamp. WoT University is a clan designed to accept all players from all levels and abilities. A place to call home and a place to make friends. WoT University is looking for members. We're looking for experienced players and new players. We're also looking for people that want to work behind the scenes, recruiters, tank commanders and personnel officers. We're also looking for people that might want to help out with social networking and other related media. If you think you might be interested, please send me a message in game or on the forum, or you can even just go directly to the porthole and put in an application. This episode of Bootcamp is all about angling your armour. We're going to start off in the training room where I go through the basics of angling your armour. I'm also going to show you how you can deflect a shot from an IS-4 in a batchat. And for those of you who don't know, a batchat has only got 60mm of side armour, which is basically like cheese. From there, we're going to see a short snippet of the lads practicing what they've learnt. After that, we're going to watch some gameplay footage of Lost One XXX, a 1000 WN7 player who uses what he learned to secure a Top Gun, a Steel Wall, a Radley Walters, and a convincing win. Now remember to stay tuned into the end, because as normal, I often save the best for last. Okay guys, so this training session is all going to be about angling your armour to make yourself a little bit more stronger on the battlefield, to make your armour much harder to penetrate. And we've got some really good examples coming up for you. But first of all, I wanted to explain to you a bit about the armour. So the armour of your tank comes in either hull armour or turret armour. And for this example, I'm going to tell you about some hull armour. So when you see your gun's penetration, for example, if your gun's penetration is 100, and you see that there's an enemy tank that's got a front armour of 80, and you still don't penetrate that, that's because the angle of the armour. It could be because he's turning his tank from side to side, or it could just be the angle itself that is on the front of the tank. So if the slope of the front of the tank. So I just wanted to give you some basic figures here. So if you was to look at my tank, zoom in on it, and then take the angle coming from my tank up the building, okay, and take that angle as 0 degrees. So when I say we're going to come off at a degree, we're coming off from the wall down towards my tank, not from my tank going upwards. Do you all copy that?
Yep.
So if you were shooting my tank front on and my armour is flat like the front armour of a Comet, okay, your penetration value is 100%, okay. If it is then sloped backwards just slightly at 10 degrees, you get 101% benefit of your armour. If there's a 20 degree slope, which is still quite very steep armour, it's 106% of your armour, okay? For 30 degrees of slope, it's 115% of your armour. For 40 degrees slope, it's 130% of your armour. So that armour value, if you have 100mm of front armour and it's sloped at 30 degrees, sloping backwards, it's 40 degrees, it's going to be 130mm of armour it has to get through. If you've got a 50 degree of slope, it's 155%, and if you've got a 60 degree of slope, it's 200%. So if you've got a sloped armour of 60 degrees at the front, it's going to be worth 200mm rather than 100mm. 70% is 292%. So if you've got 100mm of armour at the front that is sloped backwards 70 degrees from an upright angle, it's going to be 292mm worth of penetration you need to pierce that. And anything over 70% is going to be an instant ricochet. Okay, so that's your first thing to bear in mind when you're looking at armour. So you following what I'm saying so far, guys?
Yep.
Cool. Brilliant. Okay,
I
so
want to shoot you though.
Everyone wants to shoot me. So when you're in a game and you shoot at a tank, and I don't know if you've got that penetrator marker on that you can have, and it says green and it bounces, it's because the slope of the armour. Now the thing you can do in the game to combat that and increase your armour is angle your tank. Okay, so not only can you angle, is your armour sloped to give you extra armour thickness, but by angling your tank just to one side or the other increases that still. And that's the example I wanted to give you now. So where's my trusty friend Sir Oz? There he is. So let's take this tree down and look at what Oz is doing here. So Oz is in an IS-4. His front armour is 140 millimeters, right? And my penetration is 194 to 324. It's got a big differential, so it averaged somewhere in the middle of that. So average at about, say, 255, okay? So the numbers suggest I should be able to pierce his front armour. So now you can quite see me firing at the IS-4 from a flat angle. And it pierced him twice. Now he's angled just slightly. It misses. It just ricochets. So as you can see now, just by twisting his tank slightly, I'm still shooting the front.
We didn't penetrate their armor. That one didn't go through.
So even if you're in the open, it's worth angling your tank. Because one thing that tends to happen when you are a beginner or you're an inexperienced player is you find yourself out in the open in bad positions. The first thing you can do is turn your tank to the side. Now if you get your angle too steep, it will penetrate. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to shoot the side of Oz's tank, right?
Let's find another target. We didn't penetrate their armor.
So right now, I can't. It's gone from a situation where I can penetrate him to one where I can't. So if you just turn it to the side a bit more to give me a bit more of a wider angle, Oz. See how he's just that little bit more, lads, and now I can penetrate it. So there's not much in it. You've got to get used to your angle. Now, that's how it works out in the open, but what you might hear is people talk about side scraping, and that's when you use it off of a building, and that's where the really good players use this to good effect. So if you want to go into a position just the other side of that building, Oz, and if you guys want to move along the road and maybe just go on about there, just line up there so you can see. I tell you what, Oz, why don't we do this you on me first, because I've got to reload. So we was practicing this earlier, guys, and I've got 60 mil of side armour. If you want to take a shot at the side, Oz. You got me, you shot the front, didn't you? So that weren't angled enough, guys. There you go. So even if you're in a really lightly armoured tank, you can kind of squeeze yourself in, pull back a little, like you're going to come out and shoot, and then stop. The track's at that one. Go again, Oz. Track's at that one again. Now that's a good point. And what some people do with their heavy tanks, right, guys, is they will have a full repair crew and they'll fit a repair kit, like a tool kit, so their repair time is reduced by 25%. They'll take a track shot like that and it will repair in like 5 to 6 seconds. They'll come out, shoot, and then go back in again. So it's the same sort of scenario here for me. So as you can see, he's just pulled out here. I can't hit him from the front. I could probably penetrate your lower plate there, Oz. Nope. Can't penetrate his lower plate at that angle. Managed to get it just lower on. Can you see though, guys, how that works?
Yep.
So it's really not rocket science, and for me the hardest thing about doing this was the discipline of actually just doing it. So what used to happen for me was, just say there's a tank where the Centurion is, right? I'd come out and I think, right, I got a side scrape, and then I'd go like that, and I think, then I go like that and I get it wrong, and I get hit and it will penetrate, and then I'd be ages trying to get my angle right, where I've come across too much on the wall, and I'd die. But what my advice would be is try to turn into the wall a bit early. Don't go right to the end. Give yourself something to play with. And yeah. See if you can you penetrate that in the Centurion. No. And again. So you just do it like that. You rinse and repeat. I'm not going to shoot you again, but shoot me again. So that's 60mm of side armour there, guys. That's nothing. And that's how you make the most of your armour. But people will often say you can't do it in lightly armoured tanks, and you can. You just got to get the angle very steep. The good thing about lightly armoured tanks is they're often very fast, so you can pull out, shoot, and pull back in time. Ligado versus El Arrow. Brothers in arms.
Who's in the SU?
Ariel.
You and me.
Oh, the togs are going at it. Nice.
Do you want to find a spot?
Yeah, sure.
Tog turrets for the win.
1400 HP for a win.
Oh my god.
So I see Dead Hedge is quite cleverly. He's come out backwards because obviously of the turret. But it's not worked for him. It's not worked for him.
Because his turret's what you want to shoot at.
And Lost is taking the lead. Oh my god, it looks like Agordo's going to be taken out.
Well, I am the better player, you know?
You're being recorded. Your modesty is being recorded for the world to see.
Oh no, I'm going to die now because of that.
Go on,
What about this
Agordo.
building here?
You can do him, Agordo. Go on.
Yeah.
No,
It's-
you took out my gun.
Oh, it's nice. Oh, bragging rights go to El Arrow. Moving on to the T150.
The mighty Tog lives.
Syria, we lost one. He's got a black prince here, and he's in his IS. It's 2 versus 2, but the 88 is not really doing much, so it's basically 2 versus 1. So he's already done really well. He's on 7 kills, and he's just got himself immobilised. So now he's looking to side scrape off of this rock. 1 deflection there. 2. Got a shot there. He's looking behind him because the T25-2 is coming to the rear. Up to 8 kills now. Now he didn't side scrape then, he took a shot. So you can see the difference. Now he's getting his angle in a bit better. Another deflection. He manages to kill the Black Prince. Deflection there because he's got his armour angled. And he managed to get the kill for 9 kills. Well done. That's it for this episode, so don't forget to angle your armour, preferably between 50 to 70 degrees. Go out in the game, practice it now, practice it over and over and over, get good at it, and let me know how you get on. Don't forget to subscribe and like if you got something from this, and don't be ashamed to praise the name. So Havoc signing out. Stay curious.